Hey friends, check this merch out. this.
That was a juggernaut. They were lured out by the death of infested. Lay low and it should go away, or amp up the fight to draw it out. I'm still detecting a lot of infestation activity. Let's clean it up. I am no longer detecting signs of a juggernaut. Move on. You are safe.
That's it. It will be a perfect specimen. Trap it so you can synthesize it for me.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside. You have broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
An excellent specimen, Hunter. This will advance Sanctuary's goal of preservation.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Welcome.
Perhaps these will show you the path. We are honored to help. May this help your journey.
I was wrong. Here's what we can do for you.
This good place. Quiet. Call, be here.
We're done here. The extraction team will take over from here. Time to evacuate. Our position has been compromised. Defend the cargo until reinforcements arrive.
Okay, so I think I should say this ahead of time. There's there's certain singularities when it comes to Warframe, and if you don't know how to use it, I'll just say it right now, just so it could be stated as such. So if you have a controller, like if you ever play Warframe, you have a controller. This is for anyone who's ever going to watch this video. If you have a controller, all you need to do is just do one move, either a melee move or a gun move or transference move, and you do that by pressing the R1 button. Now, it won't work unless you do an action, like a transference. And once you do that action, that one action, then you press the R1. Then it transfers back into your last action, which is the Warframe. It won't work until you do it. And why is that so important? Because let's say if you're in the heat of a battle, an Eidolon, or doing something like this, you could quickly transition back into your Warframe. The other way to transference is the regular transference button, but that takes way too long. By the time you press that button, here, see, this is the regular way. You press your regular transference button and take that. That's one delay in time, so it's 1,000, 2 1,000. 1,000, 2 1,000. 1,000, 2 1,000. 1,000, 2 1,000. Now try to do it with the R1. 1,000, 2 1,000. See how fast it is? It's just like a couple, like, microseconds ahead. But the R1 transference by the main command, and it gives it in Warframe, is different from pressing creating the regular transference button. So the main command to execute your last command is a little bit faster than you pressing the transference button, because it's almost automatic. You don't have to press down on the transference button. It's much quicker to do it than press the transference button. I think it's by just about 1 or 2 milliseconds ahead. It's much quicker, and that goes for the same as anything. Let's say if you're shooting, and then the next moment you do go into melee. So if you're doing nothing but shooting in melee in the entire game, and you're not using any other abilities, all you got to do is press that R1 to just quickly go back from shooting and melee, back and shooting and melee, without pressing any other button. So that's a nice little tutorial when it comes to Warframe. You have about 2 or 3 milliseconds added towards the R1. See, it's that fast, and you would use something like that only for situations like this. Like situations like that. Like, let's say you have like 3 or 4 knobs around you, all shooting their little, like, real tough boy knobs. All three of them. They're all shooting you from different angles. If you switch with R1 and keep going back and forth with R1, switch R1, blast them back with Warframe, shoot them, R1, blast them back, shoot them. It'll be hard for them to lock on, because they're thinking about who's the last person that shot them, and the last person that shot them was your operator. They're not thinking about the Warframe. So by the time you switch to Warframe, they now switch their aiming towards the Warframe, and now they switch their aiming again towards the operator, and then to the Warframe again. So they're constantly going to be moving their guns back and forth, trying to hit you, while at the same time you're doing consistent damage to them from both operator and Warframe, both at the same time. So that's a nice little thing you could do. It's also a nice way to make sure you get your for you to get your benefits from transference. So whatever transference your Warframe comes with, or should I say your operator comes with, every time you transference back and forth, you're getting a boost of benefits from Warframe and operator, Warframe and operator. Even if you're fighting them both at the same time. That's a nice way of having consistent benefits. So if you like you're having a tough time fighting an enemy that just won't die, just keep transferring between your Warframe and your operator. Because not only are you distracting them by making them switch who they're trying to aim at, you're also gaining benefits in return. Basically, you do something like that. So it'd be difficult for them not only to aim at you, but it'd be difficult for them to kill you because you're always continuously getting your benefits.
Very impressive, Tenno. You held them all back. Time to get out of here.
This this tactic especially works when you're doing melee, especially if you're doing melee. Let's say you're fighting an enemy that's hard to knock down. No matter how hard you try, you can't knock the enemy down. Well, if you carry a heavy weapon that does knock down, regardless of how powerful the enemy is, all you got to do is use that heavy weapon to slam at the ground. Then you knock the enemy off their ass, switch into operator, blast at them to remove their shield from the Exuma's powers, then go back into knocking down by doing critical damage on the enemy while they're on the ground. So constantly you'll be able to constantly knock an enemy down. Even if the enemy does take knockdown damage, but they're way too powerful to have way too much armor, way too much weapons, or way too much damage on their weapons. If you knock them down continuously and strip their armor, they won't be able to do much every time you do a knockdown with your weapon. So for knocking down enemies, I always recommend, if your Warframe cannot do it, use a heavy blade that comes with a specific type of stance that knock down an enemy. For instance, if you were to use something like Grand Prime, and then you add a stance that does knockdown ability. I mean, you don't even have to jump in the air. It just does a knockdown. Like say Cleaving Whirlwind. Cleaving Whirlwind does a knockdown. It does a complete slash overhead, like arcing slash, and then does spinning. But if you want something that just does the first knockdown, I believe Sweeping Strike, Spinning Slash. I would have to test that out. I'll try Tempo Royale first. I believe one of them does the knockdown. I don't think it's Tempo Royale. I believe it's Cleaving Whirlwind. I'll go simulation to see. I was pretty sure it's Cleaving Whirlwind, but I have to know for myself. Basically, hammers, all hammers do knockdown, but depending on how fast the windup does, how fast the windup is, um, it would depends if you want to use that weapon at all. So if the knockdown isn't the first thing that comes in your arsenal, you might not want to use it. I mean, not the first thing in your arsenal, the first thing in your attack. Knockdown is not something you want to use. If it's not your first attack, or even your second. If it's not your first or your second attack, then you may not want to use it. You want consistent knockdowns for strong enemies. See how many. 20. Pause. Okay. Okay, so here, without jumping and do a knockdown. Let's see. There. Keep in mind, these are level 170, 176 enemies. So from just 2 overhead slash of the against level 176, this is extremely powerful. And it's not even a wind up. This is the wind up. That's one. That's a wind up. What you want is something like this, but this takes too long. So it all depends on, but that's not a wind up. That's just the speed of the weapon. So if, let's say, you increase the speed of this to a ridiculous amount. See, this is only at 120, 124. Let's say you increase the speed to an incredible amount. Let's not go with that. Let's say Prime Fury. Let's go with Gladiator Vice and one more for speed. Anything else for speed? Anything else can increase my attack speed? Doesn't look like it. So Gram might not be the weapon of choice because it cannot go higher than this. Just looking for more speed mods. Berserker will work, but you need consistent. You don't need like a build up, a stack. You need consistent speed. So I don't see any for consistent speed. I already have Fury and Prime Fury. This would go faster, but you have to do a critical chance attack to even activate that. nothing here to increase speed. So this might not be the weapon of choice in order to do what you have to do. All right, so with that said, let's see how it goes now. Time it takes for it to go down is much faster, but the time it takes to do it overhead is still too slow. A knockdown is still too slow. The jump one is much faster, but still too slow. You don't want to, when you're in the middle of a fight, you won't be given the opportunity to do that many jumps. You want to keep your feet on the ground and do consistent. It seems like it's fast, but it really isn't. All right, so now that that's that, let's go with something else. Let's say Galatine. Okay, so that's not it. No. No. Okay, there. Let's say you keep doing this. See how long this takes. But the problem with this weapon, it doesn't stop. If you keep pressing it too much, it'll do this. You just want it to do this. It want to do this. But in order for it to do this, you have to always step forward. So in that sense, the gram is kind of better in that sense, because you don't have to step forward, gram. You just hold it and do it. Now for hammers, this is good. Now if you can increase the speed, this will go much faster, especially with critical chance. So if you get this to 155, then you're solid. So let's say we're not going to go with duration. Just going to, well, that's bad. You want to keep up the duration and status chance. Actually, this doesn't require duration. It's a critical chance weapon. So let's go with speed. Like I did before, wind up. Let's see. Okay, let's. But if I put this on, I definitely need to put duration on. Which means I have to. How much damage does this do? It's not good. I need more multiplier. But I need more speed as well. So in this case, I would have to combo duration. 10% more duration. Let's see. 12% more duration. Okay, so I'll keep this simply for duration, because this is not only duration of status chance, this is just 10% more duration to anything. So if you have critical chance of 120, you'll get 10 seconds before that critical chance runs out. So now you could do this. A little faster. Let's try a different stance. Let's try. No. That's uppercuts. Those are uppercuts lifted in the air and body slams. I don't need that. That's too many slashes before ground slam. Too many uppercuts. So for the moment, Crush Ruin is the best one I have. Okay, so now I have to switch to all hammers will have the same thing. So I need a more powerful. Let's try. No. 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 So not the best weapon. You want a weapon that does a lot of that's very powerful, like hammers, to knock them off their feet. Yeah, but this weapon is so slow. Maybe it's let's see. Yeah. All right. So far, the best knockdown one I've seen is the Gram one. It's fast enough. Let's see here. Ghoul Saw. Its knockdown might actually be good. No, definitely not. Does too much fancy stuff. Let's see. Dalcroin does that. Let's see. Whoa, that's slow as hell. Oh, because it's at 1. Yeah, this is another slow weapon. It's too slow. I need a fast, heavy weapon, which is a hard thing to find, to be honest with you. See, this is heavy weapon. Still kind of slow. Let's see if I can increase it to... Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Paracesis. That's pretty fast. That's a downward slash. So that's pretty fast. Paracesis is pretty fast. And let's see here. Doesn't do a lot of puncture, but it does a lot of slash. This is good. Alright, so let's see. Let me add, let's say, let's try it. I think I did this already. Oh no, I didn't. No. Paracesis is better. That and Grand Prime. The axe should be a huge slam deal. See how fast it is. It's as fast as the Paracesis is. Let's see if it has range equal to the Paracesis. Paracesis range is probably longer. It doesn't do more slam damage than Paracesis. It doesn't have longer range. Paracesis doesn't have longer range than it does. This is 410. Let me check that again. Might have read that wrong. As its base is 290. So Paracesis range is better. Paracesis status chance, critical chance is better. Multiplier is better. Impact is less. Overall damage is less than Pseudo Prime's overall damage. So Pseudo Prime is a much better weapon. So this is, based on what I have on it, is 1,500. And Paracesis is 2,000. So even with this on, so now I'm going to double check it from Paracesis point of view. Compared to Pseudo. Paracesis to Pseudo. $220, $250. Okay, so the ones on. Okay, so when I had on sudo, it was. So if I'm reading this right, it's basically telling me what I have on now is less. Because the first one that you have on will show you your first ability. And then if you press and hold on it, it will show you the base damage, which is 222 if you hold on it. Or if you go to the inventory, and this is the inventory, its base is 222. So if you go and compare it to the pseudo, pseudo is still better. So even if I put paracesis at 2,300 total damage, and it doesn't have like a ribbon on it, and even though pseudo is doing less damage here based on what I have, overall this is a much more powerful total damage weapon. So let's say if I remove, it and put it back to its 250. Let's say I put random stuff on, you could get all the way to 3,000. Let's say for paracesis, I do the same thing. And put random stuff on, automatically install. It's 3,338 from automatic, and this is 3,000. Yeah, so it's slightly above paracesis if you were to press automatic. So, well, a lot of people might say, well, paracesis is better than pseudo. Well, it depends on what it is. If you're going for pseudo, it's critical. If you're going for paracesis, it's status. But total overall damage, pseudo is still stronger when it comes to total overall damage, as well as from heavy attacks as well. Now, if the wind-up speed is 7 for pseudo. Let's see what the wind-up speed, because then if the wind-up speed is better on paracesis, then there's no point to use pseudo. No, they're the same. So, best thing to do, use pseudo prime. You don't need to use paracesis, depending on the enemy. Now, if you're fighting high-level enemies, it'll eventually become a status chance battle. So that's when you want something like paracesis. Plus, I think paracesis is same as pseudo slash. It's not puncture base. That also depends on, no, this is slash base, and I think pseudo is also the same, slash base. Yeah, it's also the same, slash base, but it has more slash. So I would suggest just go with pseudo. Now here's the thing though, the range for pseudo is less than that of paracesis, so you might have to be a little closer. But to me, that doesn't bother me whatsoever at all. I see it as in, I see it like, as long as it's not too far away from the enemy, I'm not worried about it. Most enemies, you want to kill them, you want to do a direct hit by your wind up anyway. So you just run up, do a direct hit where you wind up, and they're dead. Keeping distance is, I guess, if you're trying to do long range weapons. So in this case, I am going to go back to what I had on before. Make sure my wind up stuff is on. And it may fall to just to 2,000, but that's fine in my book. It's fine by me. As long as it keeps its critical chance on, that's fine by me. And since it could do the same thing, Nope, too slow. So that's why that's why it would take it down from 2,000 to 1,000 something, because there is no speed on it. I think that's the reason why Paracesis, I thought Paracesis, or believe Paracesis was just a little better, because as its base, it has faster speed, I believe. Let's see. Its base, nope, its actually base speed is worse. Never mind. That's an issue. Okay, so in that sense, pseudo and Paracesis aren't that good. You want to have a base of one for your speed. Period. If it falls like 0.9 or 0.8, 0.7, then it's not really good. See, this might actually be perfect for this. Let's see. Let's try it out as well. Nope, its base is 9 as well. Not good. Let's try this out. Its base is 1. That's good. I want a heavy hammer to be at least fast. A fast, heavy hammer. I doubt this is anything like heavy. No, it's incredibly bad. 7. Let me try out the jacks. Actually, let me try this out. No, that's already in the 7. That's terrible. Where's the jack? Okay. Jack, as its base is a 1. It doesn't have any speed on it. And this is only for build-up speed, so it doesn't really matter. So Jack's base speed is okay. Better than that of pseudo. So it might be actually the fastest hammer that I have. The Jack. See to pin that. Oh, but I keep forgetting it doesn't do slam attacks. Let's try. Pole arms always are faster. Sancti Magister. It's a good hammer. But I believe its base speed is bad as well. No, it's standard. That's okay. I want something just like 5 or at least 10. 10 faster. At least 1.5 or 110. That's a hammer base or heavy blade base. I don't believe there is any. I believe the fastest heavy blade or hammer can only be 1. It can only go up to 1. So it's no longer about how fast they go, and I believe this is the same. This is, yeah, I believe that's the same as well. Okay. So now it's about Jack being the fastest hammer. So it all now depends on how much damage the Jack does as a base. So as its base total damage is less than that of pseudo and less than that of Paracesis, which isn't good. As its range is 280, which is better than that as Paracesis, are actually 10 like at least 10 meters range less than that of Paracesis, but it's greater than that of pseudo and other hammers. Is that see its wind up? Its wind up speed is incredibly slow, so this is not a good weapon, a good hammer. So it might It might be that the pseudo is the fastest. Actually, it's a 9, I believe. Yes, a 9. It's not good. Which is the other one, the other hammer. Okay, so the sledge might actually be the strongest. Its total is a 259. Its speed is a 1. Let's see what its windup. Its windup is terrible, which is not good. It also have a critical multiplier of 1, which is also not good. Its range is incredible, but between its multiplier and its wind-up speed, it doesn't even matter its total damage. So it's not that good. And since this, I believe, is also a 9, I think this is considered a hammer as well. But see, that's, oh, okay. So this is the fastest hammer. Here it is. This is 120. Let's see its total damage. Its total damage is 250, which is good. Its multiplier seems to be incredibly bad. Its range is very good. It's let's see what its wind-up speed is. Its wind-up speed is bad. So the same as the other weapon, its multiplier and its wind-up speed are bad. So even though it's fastest hammer, it's bad. Now let's see its type of damage it does. Its damage is not that great to begin with, so it's not that good. Same as the wolf sledge, to be honest with you. This is like a hammer. Come on. Okay, so okay, 1-8. So let's look at this one's stats. It's fast. Its range is good. Its multiplier is good. Its wind-up speed is terrible. Its damage is good. So its wind-up speed is the only thing that's very bad. What you want is, if you can't, you need good multiplier, good speed, and good wind-up. So this is also not good. Even though it's best in all corners, its wind-up speed is terrible. I think I said this one was also okay. So this was a 1, and its range is decent. Multiply is decent. Its wind-up speed is also terrible. If I could get a slam damage, on Pinhead, I think I might be good with this. And it's a 9. Let's try. Okay, its base is 1. Its base is 1. Its range is very good. Multiplier is very good. And its wind-up is bad. What I'm going for is anything. Even if it's 0.9, 0.8, 0.7. If it falls within that range, then it's pretty fast. If it's anywhere from 0.7 going down, then that's what you're looking for. 0.7 going down. Anything that's 1 is not good. I know this is like a sickle, but it does decent slam damage. Range is good. Multiplier is good. Wind up is 1, not good. see Galatine again. One range is 300. Has the I believe it has it's the weapon that has the second longest range. Multiplier is good, and wind up speed is bad, so that's bad as well. I believe its multiplier, its wind up was also bad. Yeah, its wind up was bad. So the theme here is that heavy blades and hammers will typically fall into the one category. They won't go below one. This is what I'm seeing. So if you're going to use a hammer, it has to be a hammer that's a solid 1. If you find a hammer that's a solid 1, not a 1.2 or 1.1, a solid 1, then that's the hammer to use for doing charge attacks. I think the Anuk is kind of like a... Okay, that's 6. Okay, that's good. Its base is 1. Multiplier is 2. Its total damage, however, is bad, but that's fine. You can always deal with that. So the Anuk seemed to be the best one so far. In fact, the Anuk is the fastest heavy blade, I believe. Let me see here. No, this is not a heavyweight. It's a sight. That's why it's fast. Okay, so damn it. Okay. I don't believe there are any more fast hammers. I believe the one that's the most probably would be, I think Graham is 9. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Now that I realize that's still not good. I need a solid 1. Was this a solid 1? No. I believe this wasn't a solid 1 as well. Yeah. Okay, so this is 0.7. Let's try this again. So now that I have a fast wind-up weapon, heavy blade, I believe this is the fastest one. Wait a minute. We're back down to 1. Oh, okay, I see. Okay. When you remove everything, it goes up. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I still have to have an overall 1, so it wasn't good. For a moment there, I was a little confused. So this is everything off of it. 2-hand nakanas. So, but this doesn't do slams. I think it's okay, still no. It might actually be pseudo. It might actually be pseudo. 1.1 again, no. Yeah. It might actually be pseudo. That or paracesis. or this weapon. Okay, so let me go down one more time, and then we'll go up. If we don't find a solid 1, then we work from 1.1. Okay, so not good. Okay, so based on what I've seen, none of them have a solid 1. Um, did I miss any? I don't think I missed any. Yeah, okay. I didn't miss any. Alright, so now I have to start from 1.1. And then look, see whichever has the fastest speed. Not good. So I'll start from the top. Oh, this is a, yeah, that's that. Okay, not a hammer. No, definitely not. I think I just looked at this. Yeah, this was 8. And guillotine. That's 1 and 1.1, I believe. Yes. Okay, so now we move to total damage, 280, which is good, and multiplier. So guillotine seemed to be in the lead right now. Its total slash damage, 260. Guillotine is in the lead simply because everything, all hammers and all windups are 1.1. And it has a multiplier 2 and a base of 1. So guillotine is in the lead right now. So let me look at it. Actually, let me look at that again. $280 and slash is $260. Okay. And is it status or critical chance? It's both. It's balanced for both status and critical chance. So Galantine is in the lead right now as all-rounder best setup. The hammer. This hammer would beat out the Galantine if it wasn't for its attack speed, its low range, and its total damage. It'll be, and plus it has low windup, so that's not good. So Galantine is superior to this weapon in many counts. So let's see if the Galantine is superior to the Gram. So the Gram is less in speed, but is it better in range? It's not better than Galantine in range as well. It's better than Galantine in critical chance and status by 10. It's better than Galantine in total damage, but not better in slash, which is bad. Its windup is about the same. So all in all, it has better total and better status in critical. Just 2 things. And a typical, a little bit of range. So it's not really superior to Galantine. So a lot of people use Gram and Galantine, but the truth is, actually, let me see. What is slash damage? Yeah, it's less slash damage than Galantine. So the Galantine is still better than Grand Prime, no matter what people say. The proof is there. The Galantine only, Grand Prime only carry 10% more in status and 10% more in status. I mean, in critical. So that's about it. That's the only reason why certain people like Galantine Gram more. But once you fight strong level enemies, those percentage won't matter. The only thing that's going to matter is wind up speed, range of your damage, and speed of your weapon. So, in a sense, the speed of his rebel weapon is irrelevant. You'll have to depend on wind up speed, total damage overall, which it does do more total damage overall. But Galatine has more slash, so I guess in some ways it's better than Galatine. Multiplier is about the same, but its range is, yeah. So I guess if total damage is better than Galatine, I guess you could say that. But if the slash doesn't kill them, the total damage will. So in some case, I say in some cases it is a little bit better. But however, the total damage here from heavy weapons using a wind-up is not better than Galatine. That's why I'm still going with Galatine. Let's look at this. It's not good. Wind-up is fast, very fast. Total damage, however, is weak, and speed is weak. No, so Galatine is still winning. Range is equal. That range is good. Speed is good. Multiplier is good. Slash is bad, but it doesn't do slash. It does impact. So impact is okay, not great. Total damage is bad, so not good. Range is decent. Speed is good. Multiplier is good. Status is good. 28, not too bad, not too bad. Total damage is 240, not good. Wind up is 1, so it's not that good. Still, Gram is still better. Gram and Galatine is still better. Now, speed is not that great. Range is good. Multiplier is good. Critical chance is good. Wind up is good. Total damage is not that great. So it's not that good. Gram is still better. Gram and Galatine is still better. Let's see here. Sanctity. Speed is good. Range is good. I mean, range is okay, not good. Multiplier is good. Critical chance is good. Damage is not good, not good. So it's not good. Okay, let's look at this again. Speed is not that great. Range is okay. It's not good. Multiplier is good. It's all rounded like Galatine is in the 20s. And wind up is fair. And 250. It's not better than Galatine. Still not better than Galatine. And not better than Gram. Let's see what else. For the heavy blades and hammers. And we're almost there to the bottom. Speed is good. Range is good. Multiplier is bad. Status is good. Wind up is good. So the only thing bad about this actually end of damage is bad. So the only thing bad about this is multiplier and the damage. So that's not good. So that's not good. You don't want your multiplier to be 1 at all. Okay, range. Speed is bad. Well, not bad, but okay. Range is very good. Multiplier is good. Critical chance and status is balance. Total damage is not that great. and speed is so an average heavy blade weapon. Speed is good, range is good, multiplier is bad, status is good, windup is bad. So overall, when it comes down to it, the two best heavy blades that I've seen so far in the game are Graham and Galatine, based on the stats, based on everything. And the two best hammers in the game, based on what I could see, is the two best hammers in the game. What I could see is Fragor Prime. See, speed is bad. Range is okay. Multiplier is good. Damage is okay. And no, actually, Fragor Prime is not that great. Thought it would be Fragor Prime. Distance is good. Multiplier is good. Status is okay. Windup is bad. So the best hammer might actually be the Wolf Sledge, to be honest with you. Either that or this is an axe. So as hammers go, I believe this might actually be, well, multiplier is terrible. I can't put that as, so Wolf Sledge might actually be the best hammer. Nope, that's a multiplier 1 as well. So with hammers, it's 240, that's 1. Multiplier 2, 1 range. So the heavy blades, the best heavy blades is Grand Prime and Galatine, based on what I've seen and assessed so far within the inventory of Warframe, as well as the inventory I have. Mostly on the inventory I have. And hammer, I would say it's between the Arca and Fragor. So the decision is between Arca and Fragor, which is better. So this is the 8 speed. Range is 260. Multiplier is good. Critical chance is great. Damage is 270, and windup is bad. Alright, so now Arca. Even slower, and range is about the same, almost. Multiplier is same. Has more status, but it has less critical. It does more overall total damage. So since stronger enemies are status, I would go with Arca. So the weapon that is the strongest, however, is slow. That's why I want to put Fragor above it, simply because that 1% more of speed is the difference between taking one bullet more, or 1 or 2 bullets more. However, its total damage is incredible. That's why I put the Arca above it, and plus it's status. So Arca is probably better than Fragor, and Fragor come in second. Just like Graham is first, and then Galatine come in second, and then there's every other heavy blade. Like you would think War would be better than Galatine, but the truth is, based on what you see, is what you see. Because if you look at Galatine Prime, and you look at its stats, it's 1, and it's a range of 3, and then it's multiplier of 2, slam of 240, slam of 840, and its windup is 1, and its total damage is 280, and damage on a heavy attack is 1680. You then look at war. It's less speed. It does have more range. Same all balance sheet. With regards to its critical status with the 2 multiplier. I think it's around the same, almost around the same, 250, and it's less total damage, where this is 150 and Galatine is more. So if you don't want to do anything, all you want to do is nothing but heavy attacks or charge heavy attacks with a wind up, this will, whatever mods you have on, it will add to this. So this is based as without any mods on is 1,500 at a total of 250. And the Galatine is $1,600 at a damage of 280. So no matter how you see it, this has multipliers too as well. His slash is 266. So let's look at that. How long will it take for a slash to take effect based on war? 266. Okay, so this doesn't do slash, but it does impact of 120. So yeah, so the Galatine and the Gram are the best heavy weapons. In fact, in some cases, the Galatine might actually be better than the Gram because it's faster than the Gram, which means if you're able to kill the enemy faster, then you don't need the Gram. Because if you're able to slash faster, like say this is its base total is a 1, and the Gram's base total is for speed is an 8, so it's 2 times less than in speed, or 2% more less than speed. So those 2% less is 2 times less the chance to actually get off a critical hit. Or in this case, the Galatine has twice the amount of time to do 2 times more to hit before the enemy dies, or 2 times more hit to kill the enemy faster than the Gram does. Even though the Gram's total is 300 and the Galatine one is, I believe, 250. The fact that it has 280. So the fact that it has 2 less in speed, and this one has 2 in speed, it'll be able to catch up to do this overall total damage anyway. So now it's no longer about total damage, it's more about range, and this has range. And now it's no longer about total damage, it's more about wind up. So let's see here. Yeah. So here's the thing. The whole objective of this game is to, if you don't have to give speed to a weapon, you don't need to. You put your money into the damage because you're going to be doing nothing but wind-ups. Heavy attacks every time you're in front of an enemy. So as a total, this has more heavy attacks, and you could keep doing it over and over and over. So this is 1,800 in damage over and over and over. And the Galatine is 1,600. So that's why in some cases, if you're not going to do any other attacks other than heavy, the gram is better. But the moment you don't do heavy attack and you start doing regular attacks, then the gram isn't good. So if you forget to do consistent heavy attacks with your weapon, like if you forget to do like this, if you forget to do this, and you forget to do those things, and you start to do regular attacks like this, and regular attacks like this, then you're screwed with the gram, and it's best to keep this weapon on, the Galatine. But if you're going to always do heavy attacks like charge up attacks like this, then the gram is better. That's the only reason why the gram is better, for its charge up attacks. See? That's the only reason. Because the moment it starts doing its regular attacks, it's even slower. Look how slow it is. It's slower than the... Like, even if I do... Look how long that takes. And I put the Galatine back on. And I hold them. It may seem that it's the same, but it's not. Those 2-second difference, or those 2-second time difference upon that impact is the difference between life and death. That's why when people put on, what's that mod? They put the mod on for... It's the difference between, here's a good example, it's the difference between prime sure-footed and it's the difference between where's that mod? And handspring. It's the difference between handspring and prime sure-footed. Prime sure-footed does 100% chance to resist knockdown. So it will always 100% of the time, maybe like 1%, 1 or 2%, you'll get knocked down. But majority of, not even, probably 1% out of 100 times you'll get knocked down. Every other time you won't be knocked down. Whereas this, you will always get knocked down, but you're able to get up faster. But the moment you get knocked down, the time it takes for you to get knocked down to get up is much faster because the animation is slower on the handspring. So you're knocked to the ground, but then you have to do the animation of the handspring, which is you jump in your back and get back up. So that's 1, 2, 3, you're back up. You're knocked to the ground, 1, 2, 3, you're back up. 3 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds to get back up. Whereas in prime sure-footed, you get knocked to the ground, you instantly get up like 1 second after. Or you don't get knocked to the ground at all. Or let's say if you do get knocked to the ground, even prime sure-footed, it takes about 2 seconds. Whereas at this, it would take about 3 seconds. And that's the difference between life and death within a Warframe. Because with 2 seconds of doing a heavy blade attack or hammer attack, you could switch out of using that heavy blade attack to transference, or to escape, or to dodge roll. So that's why I say in some cases, Galatine Prime is better than Gram. So that's it for today. I gotta go call it a day on Warframe. And I'll be back on Disco Elysium tomorrow. So for right now, that's all I gotta say.